So this is a one whole piece of, this is one whole pie and we're cutting it into pieces. And for this one, I cut it into 3 pieces. So you have a piece, mom has a piece, and dad has a piece. We're trying to figure out how many pieces you have, and that becomes the numerator. That's the shaded piece. And then the denominator is the total number of pieces. So in this example, we have 1, 2, 3 pieces. On the number line, we have a 0 right here and we have 1 right here. In the middle of that number line, between 0 and 1, we have the number 1/2. In between 0 and 1/2, we have 1/4. And in between 1/2 and 3 and 1, we have 3/4. So when we are adding fractions, we have 1/3 plus 1/3. Because the denominators are the same, we just rewrite the denominator. That's our first step. And our second step is to add the numerators. If the numbers add up to the same numerator and denominator, like this one, 4 plus 1 is 5, and the denominators are 5. This would be 5/5. That equals 1 whole, and that is the same as having a shape of 5 pieces, and we color all of them in. The whole shape is colored in. When we are adding fractions that do not have the same denominator, like this one, we have a 2 and a 3 as our denominators. I like to write it out like this, going down instead of across. And I'm going to find a number that is 2 and 3. So I'm going to count up by 2s and I'm going to count up by 3s until I get a common number. My common number is 6. Now I'm going to say, what do I do to my 2 to get it to a 6? I multiply it by 3. And anything I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. So 1 times 3 is 3. This one, I have a 3 and I'm trying to get it to a 6. How would I do that? I would multiply it by 2, and anything I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. 3 plus 2 is 5, and then I have my denominator, which is 6. I could do the same exact thing for subtraction, and I would find that my steps are exactly the same. I count up by 2s, and I count up by 3s until I get to a common number. I change my denominators to a 6. And then in math, I can't just change a 2 to a 6, so I multiply it by 3. Anything I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. 1 times 3 is 3. This 3 needs to get to a 6, and how do I do that? I multiply it by 2. Anything I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. 2 times 1 is 2. And then since I'm subtracting, my last step is 3 minus 2 is 1, and my denominator stays exactly the same. For division, we are going to do 50 divided by 5, 70 divided by 10, 49 divided by 7, 81 divided by 9, 25 divided by 5. So the easiest way to deal with division is to change it to a multiplication pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the small number, which is 5, we're going to multiply it by a blank, and we are going to put our big number here. 5 times something equals 50. Lila, can you unmute yourself and tell me what 5 times something is? What would I put in that blank? 5 times something equals 50.
10.
Yep. So my answer is 10. For this one, I take my small number, which is 10, change it to a multiplication, put a blank here, equals 70. 10 times something equals 70. What is my something?
7.
Yep. We take our small number, 7 times blank equals our big number, and then the answer just pops out at us.
7 times.
7 times something equals 49. 7 times 7. Okay, so we are going to work with these ones. 5 times something equals 55. What is my something?
11.
Yep. Next one is 6 times something equals 12.
6.
2. 2 groups of 6 makes 12. So 6 times 2 equals 12. This one I'm going to say 4 times something equals 12. 5 times something equals 40. 6 times something equals 42. 6 times something equals 54. 2 times something equals 20. 3 times something equals 21. 4 times something equals 28. 5 times something equals 45. Does that make sense to you, Lila, how I'm taking this small number times something equals the big number?
Mm-hmm.
So 5 times 9, you'd put the 9 up here. 9 equals 45. So I'll give you a few more to practice at home. 4 times something equals 32. And you can actually do these at home and just pause the video and then answer the question. 4 times something equals 24. 4 times something equals 36. 3 times something equals 20.